All right. Episode 38-ish of Dynasty Trades in 5. I'm Clay.
I'm Shane. Welcome to episode 39.
I'm Scott. Happy Thanksgiving, post-Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody's stuffed with whatever you like to eat on Thanksgiving, but back to the grind. Trades in 5.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about Michael Pittman. Currently sitting at like wide receiver 13. He's got like 750 yards and 5 touchdowns. Definitely a hot name right now. Scott, we're going to start with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is one we've brought up actually in other videos, but we haven't done a Michael Pittman breakdown obviously until now. So, he's a tough one because there were some warts with his profile and he didn't necessarily produce in year one. So technically he would fit the definition of, a guy that basically didn't gain value in year one. He's a 4-year prospect. So there was already some red flags and he wouldn't have been one of those guys that I would have been buying into after year one. Yet there's always exceptions. And I think he's one of the exceptions that now that you've seen him be able to command 22.9% target share on the season, which is pretty good. Not great for like an alpha number one receiver, even worse when you compare like the guys that are in the offense. He can't take targets from Zach Pascal or T.Y. Hilton or any of the other guys that are cycling in and out, the 3 tight ends that they use. So I think that's a red flag, but I mean, he's produced. He's points per game, wide receiver 21. Overall points, he's higher because obviously they haven't had their bye week. So I think he's right in that mix with a lot of the other guys we've talked about. He's a wide receiver 2. But I tend to think he's getting a lot of like cult buzz right now on Twitter. Like everyone missed on him and you should be buying in hardcore. I've seen people talk about he might be the next Terry McLaurin. He's an alpha that we all missed on. We should have been buying into even when his price was a little depressed. I don't think that's the case. So I think he's a little overvalued.
I think there's some wide receiver weeks inside of him, but he's more likely a wide receiver 2. And if I can pay a wide receiver 3 price for him, I definitely will. But I'm not willing to pay up for wide receiver 1 prices for him.
Yeah, he's pretty pricey right now. But let me ask you this: so 12 team Superflex start 10. Let's say it's a 1.5 tight end premium. Are you giving up the projected, say, like 108 with this incoming class for Pittman straight up?
No,
not giving up the 108. Shane?
No.
I'm thinking hard, so no. 109 maybe, 110 probably, 111 definitely.
Well, let's break it down. Let's assume the 108 you're looking at like the wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 range, which is probably going to be a first round pick prospect. B, it's probably going to be a early declare prospect as well. So all you're basically getting with Pittman is you haven't seen him bust, right? That's it. Like you may end up. Jalen Reagor was a 21-year-old early declare, first round pick, right? So, I mean, you could get Jalen Reagor. I get it. But I think if you just look back even the last 5 years, if you just look at first round picks that were early declares, that's a better ceiling, I think, overall. And I don't think the risk of missing is as bad at some of the other levels. So I think I'd probably take the 108. But I think a lot of leagues, when you guys agree, you send the 108, it gets declined just because people don't trade away good receivers that have already done something. It seems like it's hard to do these days to buy those guys.
It'd be close. Yeah, I think it'd be close. Okay, would you do Pittman and an early 22 second or DJ Moore?
DJ Moore. You say DJ Moore, Scott, and you mean it.
Yeah, I think I'd still roll with DJ Moore. It's an interesting one, though, because if you think DJ Moore goes downwards or just stays where he is right now, then you could argue him and Pittman is fairly close straight up. But I think I still prefer DJ.
How about Pittman and a mid 22 first or DK Metcalf and a 22 third?
I'm going DK.
Ooh. DK without Russ is a little bit scary.
Is he, though? Is he?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Because a mid 22 first could be the wide receiver 1 in a class, which translates to a top 20 valued receiver day 1. I think that's the issue. Is it's like, would you rather have 2 top 24 receivers or a top 12 receiver or a top 15 receiver? You're assuming DK is a top 5 receiver. But
Yeah.
how do we know he doesn't slide backwards a little bit and he's more like Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore level? You don't know.
Because he's not.
I think a good one is Chase Claypool or Michael Pittman.
I would
Both
go
sophomore
Pittman.
receivers. Claypool has been worse than Pittman this year, and they were both 4-year receivers in college. So they're kind of like similar profiles, you know, both second-round picks. I mean, where would you go there?
I think I would take Pittman. What about you, Shane?
Man, that's close. I don't know. Look, I'm an upside slut, so I always go upside, right? Like, so, and I look at Pittman and I look at Claypool and I look at what they are and what they could be. And I look at Claypool and I go, oh, this guy could be an absolute monster if he ever has a quarterback that can, throw deeper than 15 yards. And then I look at Pittman and he's actually had, I know we want to trash Carson Wentz and there's some advanced metrics that'll back it up, but he's actually not been bad this year, especially to Pittman.
What about Higgins or Pittman?
Higgins.